Commiserations, Johnny. Obviously, you've been beaten 3-1. It's Jose Mourinho's first win at St James's Park today. How does that feel?
It doesn't feel as bad as I thought it would be, because I'm actually I'm a bit frustrated that we didn't actually get something from the game. I think Spurs just took their chances, and when Newcastle, I don't think they had a lot of clear-cut chances. I did feel the likes of ASM and Almiron and Richie were really causing you problems going forward, but it's two defensive errors and a counter-attack, and you can't let players like you talk about Lucas, but I think Son's your biggest threat. I know Kane scored 2 goals, but Son's been the one on form. He looked phenomenal against Arsenal at times, and I think he was the main player that we had to watch out today. But yeah, I think Spurs probably just narrowly deserved it because of the chances they took. But I don't know. I think on another day, Newcastle might be able to get something, because I think we've actually played worse against Mourinho's sides over the years when he's been managing Man United and Chelsea, and we've managed to win games. I think in a game that we played a little bit better. Spurs have won 3-1, so no, not enough complaints not too many complaints about the overall performance, but just you got to give credit to Spurs for taking their finishes and taking the chances.
Yeah, obviously, Newcastle did have a few chances throughout the game. I remember Dwight Gale hit the post in the first half. John Joe Shelvey as well had a free header inside the box. I thought in the second half, I think we restricted you to very few chances for most of the game. Obviously, you scored through a great strike from Matt Ritchie. But from a Newcastle perspective, did you feel like this Spurs side were always in arm's reach? Do you feel like you always had a chance to get back in this game? Were you impressed at all with Spurs?
I was impressed at times at Spurs. I think there were certain players that played well for you today. I mentioned Son. He's been a player that I've admired for a long time. But I think Winks was very good today. I thought Winks was good. I think Sissoko had his moments as well. So, yeah, I thought there was a couple of positives from a Spurs point of view. But I'm a little disappointed, because I think on another day, if we say Dwight Gill's header hits the post and goes in instead of hitting the post and going wide and it's 1-1, Spurs, you don't know, because at the end of this, from now, since Mourinho's come in rather, to the end of the season, this is just kind of like Mourinho's just testing the waters. Can you get Spurs in the Europa League and then buy a few players from now until whenever the start of the season is going to be, and then have a real go at the league next season? And I think it's just a bit of just testing the water, see what he can do. So I think the Spurs were definitely there for the taking, but we just didn't take our chances, simple as that.
Do you feel like, I think Spurs, maybe in teams in the years gone by, or especially in the past 4 or 5 years, would have come into this game with a bit more of an attacking approach, look to dominate the ball, look to be on the front foot against, if we're playing against a Newcastle side, as you are, I think, lower mid-table. But today was, as you say, for a lot of the game, Newcastle had a lot more of possession. Tottenham was sitting very deep, looking for a counter-attack. Was that a surprise to you?
A little bit, but then again, you're up against the Mourinho team. I think the last guy hit it perfectly. It's not the best performances, but he's getting results for you. Where when you look at Pochettino at times, the performances were brilliant, but the results weren't adding up. I think now you just need to try and find maybe that common or that medium where Mourinho can get some good performances and get the results, which I think every fan craves for. But it just have to wait and see with that one. But with Newcastle, I liked the fact that we actually had a bit more possession on the ball. The fact that we were trying to go forward as much as possible. I don't know if you watched the Man City game in the Cup a few weeks ago, but we were woeful going forward, and we just let Man City play. Now I know Man City are at the minute a lot better than Spurs and Newcastle put together to make it blunt. Yeah, but it was nice to see that we could actually have a go at these so-called big six, which Spurs are at the minute. So more of that, and if we can take a few chances, then who knows where Newcastle could be. But I'm just a bit frustrated, but not disappointed, shall we say.
Let me ask about a player, about Alex StMaximin, who my brother was talking to Lee about in the match preview. Obviously, Lee has very high opinion of him. I thought today showed what classic StMaximin performance. A lot of energy, a lot of hope, but a lot of potential. But sometimes he's lacking in the attacking areas. What do you feel about, first of all, his performance today, and overall, do you think he could move to like a top 4 club and be a star there?
I think before he moves to a top club, I think what he needs to work on is his end product. He's a bit like Adama Traore in the sense of when he first came to Wolves and in the Premier League rather, where he would run at players and he would frighten defenders, but his end product was just nothing. Where Adama Traore now, you look at him, you go, he can cross, he can shoot, and he can get on the end of goals now. StMaximin's not at that level yet. I think what would be really good for him is another season at Newcastle, try and stay as fit for the whole season, because there's been times where he's been injured, try and get a full season. And if he can add the end product to his game, then he could make that jump. What we're hoping for, obviously, is this, I'm going to put in inverted commas, takeover. Because if this takeover happens, we can keep hold of StMaximin for the long term, hopefully. But if this doesn't happen, then a team who are fighting for Champions League football will be looking at StMaximin going, well, he's got end product. He terrifies defenders. We need to get him. And that's where Newcastle will go, well, here's the price. So that's what we hope. But if he can add end product, StMaximin will be a player that will frighten defenders even more.
And maybe one other player Spurs fans might be interested in is Nabil Bentaleb, who started in central midfield today. Obviously, a Spurs Academy product. He's on loan at you guys. What did you make of his performance today against his old club? And are you happy with him overall at Newcastle?
This performance was probably one of his better performances, I have to be honest. He's I say he's been a bit of a scapegoat. He hasn't. He hasn't been good for Newcastle. If I'm being brutally honest, since he's come in. He's had a couple of half decent performances, but there's been a few performances this season where he just doesn't look good enough. And I think we potentially could buy him for 10 million. And there's been a lot of fans saying, I don't think he's even worth that. And people would, I think, a lot of people were asking Matty Longstaff to start a day in front of Nabil Bentaleb. And Matty Longstaff has got 3 games left. He's on £600 a week or £650 a week. So that tells you how far Nabil Bentaleb's probably gone down the line. If Steve Bruce is still the manager, obviously takeover impending again, I have to say that. But if it doesn't happen, Nabil Bentaleb will be a Newcastle player. But he wasn't fit when he came to us. He's starting to play a run of games, and then obviously lockdown happened, and he has played a couple of games since. But I personally haven't been impressed. I think Lee said he wasn't really impressed with Bentaleb. But who knows? I put it this way: if I was a Spurs fan, I wouldn't be bothered about him. He's nothing to be worried about. He's not pulling up any trees at all.
Fair enough. All right. Is a takeover going to happen? Are you still hopeful of that? Is there anything you're hearing? Don't know yet. Still 50-50?
It's very much 50-50 at the minute. The Premier League have just got to make a decision. If they give it a big tick, which a lot of journalists are saying, that we've had Henry Winter and John Cross on the channel in the last couple of months, and they've said that, look, this is going to happen. So I'm hoping that they're right and hoping that their sources are right. And if that's the case, then Newcastle should be taken over. We're just waiting for the Premier League to make a decision.
All right. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck in the future as well. Let's see what happens with the takeover. I don't know if I should hope for it, because you might overtake Spurs if you get taken over. That's what I'm worried about.
Hopefully.
With your fan base, so you inject hundreds of millions into that. That could be a worrying recipe for Spurs. But anyway, thanks for coming on. Everyone, check out Newcastle Fans TV. Go check them out on YouTube. I think we're going to do a video on their channel after as well, a bit later on. So go check that out. And cheers for coming on, Jonny. Pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Nice one. Cheers, man.